For our last video, we will be making this 5-strand ring. We will be using solid brass wire in 20 gauge, a ring mandrel in size 6, and our wire cutters, nylon jaw pliers, and the flat nose pliers. Using the nylon jaw pliers, we are going to begin by smoothing out the wire. Next, we are going to take the wire and place it onto the ring mandrel, leaving a small tail. It's about 2 inches, maybe 3. And we're going to wrap that wire around until we have wrapped it 5 times, wrapping it as tightly as you can and holding it firmly against the ring mandrel because the wire is going to want to spring back from the shape that you are wrapping it into. Once we have 5 strands of wire wrapped around the ring mandrel, we're going to take our wire cutters and cut off the excess wire so that our little tail of wire, both ends are the same length. You'll notice that as soon as I let go of the wire to cut it, that all that coil loosened up. So that's something we're going to have to make sure that we hold tightly against the mandrel so that we keep the proper size for our ring. This might be the hardest part only because you have to hold all 5 of those strands tightly against the mandrel so that they don't spring back out as you begin finishing off the ring. Holding the wire as tightly as you can against that ring mandrel, we're going to grab our flat nose pliers and take one end of the wire, bending it straight down to create a sharp 90-degree turn. Now that we have this first end of the wire bent down, we want to bend the other end of the wire in the opposite direction. To do that, we are going to slide the ring up to the opposite end of the ring mandrel, and then we're going to tighten it back down, bringing the wire tight against the ring mandrel and holding it firmly before we take our flat nose pliers and take that long end of the wire, bending it in the opposite direction of the first, bending it straight down along the ring mandrel to create a sharp 90-degree turn. Once we have both ends of the wire bent, we want to remove the ring from the ring mandrel without releasing any of the tension, otherwise our ring is going to want to spring back. We want to take both ends of the wire and wrap them around the band of the ring. So using our flat nose pliers, we are going to take one end of the wire and bend it sharply down so that we can then bend it through the center of the ring. Using our fingers to press the wire all the way through the ring, we will then take our flat nose pliers and press down and tighten that bend in the wire. Paying special attention to holding the ring, making sure that you are gripping it tightly so that the wires don't shift and you don't lose the size of ring that you are making. Using the flat nose pliers, pinch that bend tightly against the ring and then fold the wire up and over, continuing to press the wire tightly against the band. Having turned the ring around, we are going to do the same thing with the opposite end of wire. Pushing the wire through the ring with our fingers and then using the flat nose pliers to make sure that everything is tightened down, we squeeze the wire tightly against the band and making sure that the folds are pressed closely together. Pressing the end of wire down through the center of the ring, we're going to make sure everything is secure and squeeze it tightly with our flat nose pliers, and then turn the ring around and do the same thing with the other end of wire. Pushing the ends of the wire up just a little bit allows us to get a closer cut with our wire snips. Then we can take our flat nose pliers and press the ends back down, securing them firmly inside of the ring. Using the file, smooth down all of the ends to make sure that there's nothing sharp or catching. This last step is totally optional, but if you'd like, you can spread out the wires as I did just to fan it out a little bit instead of leaving it tight as when I wrapped it on the mandrel. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this class. Please upload your pictures of the project, comment, and let me know what your favorite ring was, how this project went for you. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll see you in the next one.